When are we going to see James Cullen Bressack crowdfund?
Oh, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to crowdfund.
Why?
Because I feel like it's begging and it's going, please, please, please give me money. I want money for a film. And at the end of the day, I think crowdfunding should literally be, just like begging on the streets, your last option. Have you tried absolutely everything to get this movie made? Have you been trying to make this movie for 4 years and you've talked to everybody and you've networked with everybody and nobody will make it and your only option is crowdfunding? Then go with that. But if you're Zach Braff and you're like, hey, yeah, I want to, fund a movie, it's ridiculous. If crowdfunding is your only way of getting the movie made, I think that's great. And I've seen some people do it and it's their first movie, and power to them. I think that's great, and I'm not going to knock on them. That's who it's made for. It's made for people to start. But if you've already made a movie and you're already making movies and you can go out and get a movie made, then you're robbing from the people who can't. And it's messed up to do. And I'm very against crowdfunding. I mean, seeing people like, Spike Lee going out and crowdfunding, you've got to be kidding me. That's ridiculous.
Let's suppose there's other indie filmmakers and you have over 100,000 Twitter followers, and let's say we hit another recession, or for some reason the investors that you have aren't able. Why would it be bad? If people like your work and you went to them for $100 each, $25 each, you have your movie right there. Do you feel that it makes it look like you can't get investors?
Well, one, I do feel like it makes it look like you can't get investors. And also, if you don't reach your crowdfunding goal, you have a permanent stamp on the internet saying, I couldn't raise this much money from my fans. But another thing that I think makes me really against crowdfunding is I think it's kind of like an illegal basis almost, because you're basically having people invest in a project without getting anything on the back end, which I think it's wrong. And I'm not a fan of it. I also think that because crowdfunding is so spread out and so many people do it, there's also like stuff like Indiegogo where you don't have to meet the goal and you get to keep the money. Well, if you don't meet the goal, did you just keep everybody's money and not make the movie? Because I've seen plenty of movies that just didn't get made and they took people's money. I think it's there's going to be, it's almost like racketeering. And like there's some problems with it, and I think it needs to be more streamlined. I think a better thing would be crowdfunding in a sense that I don't have a budget, but I want to get this movie made. Who will donate their time for me? Not their money, their time. Will you DP and bring your camera for free? Will you run sound for me for free? Will you handle all the craft services and feed everybody? Like, will you act for free? I think that's a much better way. You post your idea of your film and see who's willing to donate their time to be involved. Because time is money, but you're not taking people's hard-earned cash.
Right. I think that sounds great. I think you're right in the cases where people don't complete something, even if they make their goal. I think that's wrong. But for the people that do send updates, they send you the screener, they send you whatever it is, you don't feel that that's the right thing?
No, I said completely power to those people.
Oh, I see. The ones that
a lot of those people who do that, it's because it's their first movie or it's, they're going out. But I'm saying people like Spike Lee, people like, Zach Braff, they shouldn't be doing that stuff. Veronica Mars shouldn't have been a kick-started project. And I feel like it'd be wrong if I did it. And I'm against it for that because I don't want to take advantage of my fans and people that watch my stuff. I respect the fact that they watch it, and also a lot of people are broke nowadays. I don't want to take, you're saying, oh, it's only $20, but $20 is a lot of money if somebody doesn't have $20.
Yeah, I agree.
So
it's not even a tank of gas.
Yeah, I mean, I have a ton of fans of my movies. They watch them on Netflix because they can't afford to buy the DVDs.
Have you been tempted to pull the trigger and say, "Ooh, let me just make the video and throw up the campaign and just see what happens"?
I've been tempted multiple times to do a Kickstarter, but then I go, it needs to be my last option. and you know, I'm doing okay without the Kickstarter projects. And you know, I think obviously I'm very vocally against it, and Kickstarter will hate me for it. But I just I think it's on a base level inside myself, I feel that it's wrong, and I just inside me I feel that it's the wrong thing to do, and I feel like it's begging.
Sure, it's not an uncommon, idea. How close have you been to actually getting a campaign ready, and then what caused you to recoil?
No, I never. I just had a thought a couple times. I was like, this is a weird idea, but I can't get anybody to fund it because it'd be too like crazy. Maybe I'll put it on Kickstarter. But I never did. Those thoughts only really came when Kickstarter was like first coming out and everybody was like, oh, and you saw all these campaigns popping up like every week. And so at the end of the day, I think that there's too many kinks to work out with the system before I can be totally sold on it.